Well, good morning. Excuse the dress. It's not a work day. It's a Saturday morning. And I woke up this morning to two magnificent things. The first was a truly amazing sunrise. It was so quiet outside. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. Everything was still. It's the day after Good Friday. It was just a pleasure to be up at that time in the morning. But the other thing was I received a video text from a good friend of mine that was at a Facebook conference. And he was saying where the world is going is from text to images to video to virtual. Now, I'm not going to talk about virtual today because we're in the early stages of that. That's certainly where we're taking our businesses. So recently, I was at a conference with Tony Robbins, and this fits so perfectly because my belief is that we're getting to a stage where we'll be interacting with a client in a whole different way to what we have in the last 10 to 15 years. And at this conference, there was a guy called Scott Klofsky, and you should refer to his work. It's truly amazing. And he was telling us about homology. Now, homology is the emerging science of where tech interacts with humans. And I'm not talking artificial intelligence, but it may go to that. So if you think about Amazon's at one end of the scale where you buy books online and you don't need much human interaction there. But then you take our immigration business. Now, our immigration business is a very high trust business because it's one of the most stressful processes that you can actually go through to migrate from one country to another. It affects your relationship, your finances, your friends, everything. I've done it myself, and I can feel it there. So with the new tech world that's emerging, what we did, we took Scott's work and we journey mapped the process for one of our clients. We journey mapped the process for someone that's coming into this country from the first time that we interact with them right through to getting them the visa and settling them into the country. Now, this does two things. Firstly, it gets you to understand your client even more at whatever stage that they are in the process. And also you understand how you interact with them, because I'm not sure if you're the same as me, but I've had enough of emails. I've getting to have enough of texts. And really, I want people to interact with me on my terms. So if you could come up with a process that you interact with a person with video, because video is one of the most powerful ways that you can interact with your clients, believe me. And then the time that you need to send maybe a text, maybe the time you need to send an email, maybe a time that you need to actually call these people. Because, for example, in immigration, a quick call to say everything's on track, everything's okay, everything's fine, does wonders for your clients. Let me give you an example. I was due to meet with someone recently and I was late. And that happens. And usually these days someone sends a text and they go, I'm late, I'm sorry. What I did, I got my phone out and I sent a video. Just a short video to say, I'm so sorry I'm late. This is the reason. Just have a look at this. I was actually in a traffic jam. I was stopped. I was by the side of the road. I don't drive in text and video. But what he said to me was that was so amazing that you took the time to do that. I really appreciated it because I don't trust when people send me texts. I have this inherent belief that they really don't mean what they're saying. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you our journey map and how we think about interacting with our clients to communicate with them in the way that they want, not the way that we believe that we should. That is where the world is going. I hope you enjoy what I'm just about to show you, and I hope it helps you in mapping out your own processes with your clients. So let's have a look at the journey mapping process, and I'm going to give you a brief overview of this. It's not going to be too in-depth, it's just going to give you an idea of what we do. There's a lot more behind this, and after this I will show you how we map out a client and their emotions, etc. So just very quickly, we start the process with the first interaction with the client, and there's a bit of marketing that goes on before this. Then we decided that the best way to interact with the client next is the human approach. That's an agent call or an oral assessment. Now that builds the trust bond with the client, and this could be a free service, it might be a paid service, it depends on which target market we're going into. Then we decided it's okay to send an email with the assessment so that they've got something in their hands, they've got something they can see, and they've got something they can actually sign a contract if they want to. But also we give them a video series which is added value, which shows them how to get into Australia and what they need to do in the visa process. So if they come with us, that's great. If they don't, they probably never would. So that gives value, and it makes the customer feel good that they actually did get some value off us. The third stage, when we do narrow down the potential clients, is that we go to the consultation process. Now this is face-to-face, and what we do here, we either have a face-to-face if they're local, or we Skype with the client. But what we do, we record the Skype. We actually use GoToWebinar so that we can record more easily. But we record that consultation and we make that available to the client, as well as transcribing that as the consultation process. So at this stage now, they've got videos which show them how to get into the country. They've got their own specific consultation process, and that is put online so that they can refer back to it time and time again. If they're comfortable with us and we don't push the process, then we say, right, do you want to come with us for our service? But by this stage, they know what they want. We know that they know more about the process than they ever have in the past. They're 60% of the way down their buying process. So what we got to do is build that trust bond, and we do that visually by videos. So that is the journey map. In the next little segment, I'm going to show you just one of these stages whereby we get to understand our client and what they're feeling at that stage. So let's have a look at what we do at each stage. This is for the first stage for a 457 visa applicant. So the first thing we do is we understand what the buyer goal is, what they want to achieve, and what they want to accomplish from this process. Understanding those emotions at that stage is absolutely critical. Then we look at what is their motivation and their pain. What is it that we're trying to solve? What is the problem that we're trying to solve? The third thing is what emotions are present within that customer. What are they feeling at that point in time, and what do we need to do, say, or how do we need to communicate to allay the feelings of fear? What are their needs and wants? Do they want information? Do they want just fishing? Do they want someone to contact them? And how do they want someone to contact them? Then we say, what data do we collect? What can we reasonably expect to get from our client, or our potential client, should I say? And at this stage, the online world has got all these pop-ups and all that sort of stuff. That's too early in the process sometimes. So we just want to understand what data can we get and what can we give for that data. What is the user action we want them to take? What do we want them to do next? What do we want them to think? Because we want to provide as much value as we can to these clients. So we want to get into that conversation in their heads. And then we decide on the correspondence type. Is it a letter? Is it an email? What do we attach? What do we actually give them at that stage that they would be expecting in any conversation with any potential provider? Then we look at the user profile so that we can serve them more in the future. We look at their name, their occupation, etc. so that we can capture that data, and down the line we can give them a service that they actually appreciate. And then we go to the company representative. Do we touch them with a video? Do we touch them with an agent? Or do we touch them with an email? What representation do we want from ourselves as a provider of value to the customer? Then the product, service, or goal. What's the ultimate product at this stage that we can wrap up to say to the client, here's something that will be of value to you. Now, if you come with us, you'll get even more value in the process. So with all of that in mind, that's how we map out every stage of our journey in the journey map. And then we're giving the customer more of what they want when they want it, in the way that they want it. I really hope that helps, because this is the fundamental core of influencing a customer. So I hope you enjoyed that video. It was a quick video based on some information a friend of mine got from the Facebook conference, and I wanted to put into context where video fits in a process. So you can have all sorts of videos. You can have your mobile videos, you can have high production value, you can have these types of videos. But please think about where they go in the process and what your customer will appreciate. So we got loads of videos coming up on our Facebook site, on the blog site, on YouTube. Keep watching. I've got some great content I want to get out there, and those will be produced in the next couple of weeks. Cheers for now. Bye.